How did that feel?
Oh, see, people, see what I
See,
mean?
people?
People, see what I mean? That's just there we go. And we're done. We're done with that
Yep, that's
podcast.
it. That's you, embodied stress relief.
It just feels like, and the word embodied to me is just wrapped up. And when you were talking, I could feel the goosies across my neck and across my arms. And it just felt so that I was embodied
Hmm.
with love and nurturing and support. And I didn't even know if I could, yeah. So everything's all going wilder
All
now.
our
My
goosebumps everywhere.
head's sticking up, but it just feels like you can't run away from it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is that even if you're just like, no, I've got 20,000 things to do, you actually can't because it's just going, just take a moment.
Hmm.
And there's always enough moments in the day to take that moment, I
Precisely.
think.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb. Just had to hold space for that because we're never quite sure how we're going to be greeted from
Agree,
your side.
agree.
Welcome, dear listeners. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations with Debz. That would be
Oh,
Deb.
me? That would be me.
That would be Debz.
Can you
And
tell I'm
me,
looking forward to
Stefan.
today's one? Like a little bit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, this is makes your heart skip a wee bit. This is an awesome. Did you know that this is going to be episode 260 in our podcast? That's
No
just
way.
epic. Isn't that epic?
See, I remember when we started talking. We just started talking every week. We were talking, and then we're like, you know what? Let's just talk. I think I don't even know who suggested it. I don't know if it was you
I
or
don't
me or what.
I can't remember
It
either. It's been a
came
long
out.
time.
Yeah, let's do it.
260 episodes later.
Wow. I
But
remember
what?
we were just like one a month. We'll just do one a month. One a month.
Yep, yep. And now we're doing one a week.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yes. Well, there
But
you go. There you go. There's a journey and a half, people. Thank you for listening.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So this is also our first episode of 2025. What a beautiful topic for us to talk about to step into the new year. Top tips for embodying stress relief. Embodying stress relief. I just love that so much.
Yeah. It
Before,
feels okay. I'll let you carry on,
yeah,
but it
it
doesn't.
feels. It
And
feels.
I'm going to tell you number one. I'm going to tell you number one tip for people is listen to Moira when she does the first intro that we're going to do because that there is instantly to embody stress relief. That comes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I just wanted because I say this every time after Moira as I start writing notes, and then next
Like,
thing you
oh,
know, I've
there's
got.
the tips. Those are the tips.
So I'm not going to write any notes, but please, you just write these notes from Moira's heart coherent exercise. She's just going to take you on now. Okay,
So
now I'll be
this
quiet.
is what we're going to do and to be honest with you, you may not want to do notes because this one is a real embody type process. This idea of heart coherence. And Deb said this a couple of episodes ago. I do it different every single time.
Mm,
So try it on. So the whole part is it's basically help you get present, get in your body, feel where you are, feel your connection to Mother Earth and feel your connection to source energy. And then we're going to all connect our heart energy. So we get to do this wherever and whenever we are. So to start, if you're sitting or lying down, just feel your body where it's being supported. in your seat, can you feel your feet? Feel your feet, and then maybe even feel a roots coming from the soles of your feet and from your tailbone down into Mother Earth, anchoring you in, connecting you to the planet. Just breathe into that. See what that feels like. What does that feel like for you? Allow those roots to go down and anchor you in, and also bring up nurturing, soothing, calming, beautiful energy from Mother Earth. And just bring that into your heart space. And then bring your awareness to whatever your idea is of a higher power, of spirit, of God, of source, whatever that is for you, of the universe. And really just allow yourself to feel that. It might feel like branches coming from your shoulders and the top of your head, going up, 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 connecting, plugging in. And then allow that connection to bring energy down into your heart. And now place both hands or one hand over your heart. Take a nice deep breath here. In, hold slightly, and then breathe out with the intention that your grounded, connected energy is coming out and encircling the planet. Good. Now breathe back in, feeling that connection. You're connected to Earth, you're connected to the universe, and you're all connecting to one another. Breathe that sense of connection, that sense of belonging, the sense of that you matter. Breathe that into your heart. Allow that to fill you up. And now breathe out, envisaging that we are co-creating this beautiful blanket or matrix of interconnecting beams or streams or ribbons of unconditional love, of healing, positive, balanced, plugged in energy. And now breathe that back into your heart. And just create a wee visual for yourself. Pretend, create a wee image of like a blanket, a soothing blanket, a healing blanket, calming, nurturing, connecting, that surrounds this planet and all beings here. May we always remember this connection. Coming into heart coherence is such a beautiful way to step into anything that you're about to do, whether it's listening to our tips on embodying stress relief, or starting your day, or finishing your day, or getting ready for a project or something that you need to do. Such a beautiful thing. And you know, all you need to do to remind yourself of it is put your hand over your heart and take a deep breath. And then let that go and just trust. It's always there. You're always enveloped by it. How did that feel?
Oh, see, people, see what I mean?
See, people?
People, see what I mean? That's just there we go. And we're done. We're done with
Yep,
our
that's
podcast.
it. That's you, embodied stress relief.
It just feels like, and the word embodied to me is just wrapped up. And when you were talking, I could feel the goosies across my neck and across my arms. And it just felt so that I was embodied with love and nurturing and support. And I didn't even know if I could, yeah. So everything's all going wilder
All
now.
our goosebumps everywhere.
My ears sticking up. But it just feels like you can't run away from it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is that even if you're just like, no, I've got 20,000 things to do, you actually can't, because it's just going, just take a moment. And there's always enough moments in the day to take that moment,
Precisely.
I think.
Yeah.
Out of everything that Moira said this morning. So there's your tip number one, but how does that make me feel is just beautiful inside. Just
And that's
beautiful
that,
inside.
that's one of my favorite questions. And maybe that is the question that you need to, we can use that as our first tip, is use that question. How does this make me feel about me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I've got
it's
all my
like,
goosies are still answering me.
how does this make me feel about me? Because like you said, sometimes we can get into our head, oh, I don't have time for this. I have to get on, I have to get started on my to-do list. You always have time. Because what I really like, and I want us to bring this into this conversation, I see stress relief as something that we kind of keep dipping our toe in, because let's face it, there's stress in this world. There's
Oh,
stressful situations. But stress
definitely.
relief just as a topic or as a theme or a vibe by itself is something that's very different from the idea of embodying. Embodying it means it's always there.
Yeah,
Embodying it
totally.
means, yeah, all I need to do is put my hand on my heart and there's the dialing down of the inner chatter. And do you know what I mean?
It is. It totally is what you're meaning.
Time out.
Yeah, totally. I know. We just have to, can we pause it for a moment? Just wow. Thank you for pausing. I just had a little bit of a stress relief by allowing Moira to pause. I just had to quickly duck away for a quick moment. And I think actually that's definitely a tip is being able to say, hey, the time's just not right for me right now.
Yeah.
And it's part of that saying no. And even though like that was very awkward, Moira and I are doing a podcast and we're doing this, like I just have to move away from my computer for like a split second.
Mhm.
The time you have to say this stuff because if I didn't say it,
Mhm.
my stress would escalate. And I
Yes.
think that is being able to say that. And there was no trust. I just went like it was a bit like that. But I think that's something as important as being able to say no. And now's not a good time to say this, or now I can't say this now. Can't tell them something before they go and do something. There is no good time to say anything to anybody sometimes.
Sometimes, and you know what I love about what you just shared is that to me is true embodiment. Because
Mm.
embodying stress relief, because that's what I was kind of trying to say earlier about stress relief is like a package deal that when you're really, really stressed out and you know, if you've done your PEMS check-in, checking in with your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and maybe you're at a 15 on that scale of 0 to 10, right?
We've been there.
Then
Yeah.
you need to step into stress relief. But it's kind of a you're here in the stress and then you have to step into stress relief. Whereas to me, embodying stress relief does not mean that you are not going to experience stress or
Mm.
situation like what you just said, where you have to say,
Yeah.
okay, we just have to pause. That's still embodying stress relief because you're not allowing yourself to get up to that 15. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think that's the other thing is but it's also that part of to embody stress relief, first you have to open your eyes.
Yeah.
First you have
And
to
be
acknowledge
present and be
there's
present.
something here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if you're not present, you're not going to see it, and you're just going to keep going round and round and round in a circle, which we all do, everybody, just so you know, we're all human. But being able to be present and poised, then you can clearly see things. We
Yeah.
talk about the eye and the storm. Is it the eye and the middle of the
This,
tornado?
yeah,
Tornado?
the eye of
We
the
don't have,
storm. It is
we
the
don't,
eye of the
we don't have
storm.
tornadoes in New Zealand. Yeah.
It is the
Yeah.
eye
So
of
when
the storm. Yeah.
you're sitting in there and when you're sitting in that truly embodies stress relief because you're actually sitting there and you can see what's going on around you.
Yes.
Can't see it, you're left with how am I going to deal with it?
Yeah.
And there is everything you can see when you open your eyes, when you're open to opening your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, it
I
really
know.
does because like you say, you can sit. That's one of my favorite songs that you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
And so that's the thing that just envisage that and feel that for a moment, that you can be in the center of chaos and discombobulation can be spinning around you, but you don't have to buy into it or get caught up
Mm.
by it. And that's kind of what we're talking about here, because this is what my tip here is to flow with what's happening, right?
Oh, yeah. This is me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think so? Embodying stress relief means I am not going to buy into somebody else's chaos or crazy making thing, but I'm not going to pretend it's not happening because it
Mm.
does, right?
And I think if they flow with what's happening, it's not, I'm going to flow with it, but it's not me. I shouldn't be doing this. There's none of that. It's
No.
actually, if it feels like it goes back to that, how does this make me feel about me? Is this good for me? That goes back to that very first tip
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
To flow is actually, yeah, this is something I do want to flow with, not,
Mhm.
no, I don't want to do it and I'm going to have to flow with it because there ain't
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah. There's no flow there. But because the next tip that I would lead on from that is to trust. Because I can come into flow with it because I trust I'm always in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means my head might be saying, well, you have to be logical about this and have to work it out and have to tell me why. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just trust and say the next step will present itself. Maybe I have to say no, press pause for a moment, but to trust the whole flow in the whole process. I'm always in the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I yeah, well, that's the old John DeMartini saying, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
On the way, not in the way. And I think when you truly understand that, like, oh yeah, it's on the way, it's not in the way. Oh, it's on the way, when you actually the chaos hits or that stress hits, and you're like, and you've said that for so long, you're like, oh, this is on the way, it's not in the way.
Yep.
So you don't have to start doing these tips when you're at a stressful point. You can just start embodying them now, bit by bit by bit. So when the chaos hits, you're left with, oh, I know what I'm doing now. This is natural. I know exactly where I'm going. I've been doing this for a month. I've been preparing for this chaos. Bring it on.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Well,
with
it
that?
does. It does. Because that's the thing, is that this topic, this idea of embodying stress relief, it's something that you want to be practicing and trying out different techniques and ideas and concepts, maybe when you've had a wee bit of a break from some of the stress. Because
Yeah.
if you're going to try and embody stress relief and it's a foreign topic for you, and you're trying to do it while you're in discombobulation, it won't work.
Well, if you say to
Yes,
me,
it won't work.
if you're saying to me, Deborah, you're absolutely chaotic, I want you to go sit outside and meditate, I'll be like, you can shove that up your jacksie. There is no way that's going to happen. I don't even have time to sit down. Like, you're literally going to be part of that. Like, what? You want me to sit down? I'm dealing with this and meditate. You can, and you can feel yourself, and all that's going to do is
exacerbate it. Yeah.
And I think that knowing that different concepts have different effects with you, depending on the mood, depending on what mood you're having, if you sleep or anything like that, depending on that stuff. But knowing that each one, going back to that tip before you said it was trust, knowing that each one works.
Yes.
And it is all our belief too. It's that thing of I believe that.
Yes.
Going back to that.
And that makes me think of, yes, what do you believe? And sometimes we have to watch the BS in our mind. And now all our listeners are going, oh gosh, I don't have BS in my mind. No, and when I say BS in your mind, it's your belief system. BS.
But that brings us back to the 4 agreements, being impeccable with your word.
Yes.
Again, being impeccable with your word that you say to others and what you say to yourself. But know that everything is movable. We talked about trust. Trust that today's just things are wobbling, or this last hour it's wobbling, and you don't have to wait for tomorrow to wake up and refresh. You can change your state at any time. You don't have to go, oh, tomorrow's a new day, I'll just suffer for the rest of the day. No, just pretend today's a new day right now. Like right now is a new minute.
You can say, Kate, this is the next hour or the next minute. It doesn't have to cast a shadow on the whole day.
No, a lot of people do that. I didn't realize. I was talking to someone this week, and she says, "Oh, well, tomorrow's another day. I'll have a different day tomorrow." And I'm like, "Why don't you start it now?"
Yeah.
And it was literally, I was left with, "Why don't you start it now?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, just pretend today's a new day, and you're just changing it." And she's like, "So I don't have to wait till tomorrow?" And you know me, I'm like, there ain't no poker face on that. I'm like, "What? What do you mean you have to wait till tomorrow? Just say right now I'm changing it, and you change it." And she's like, "It can't be that easy." And I'm like, oh,
but
wow.
It is.
Okay. How about right now we reprogram your brain? And that's it. So you don't have to wait till tomorrow.
No. Because you know what's making me
to change.
Do you know what comes up for me when you're saying that is you can say cancel, cancel, cancel.
Oh, who was I talking to the other day about that? We were laughing our head off. I can't even remember who I was talking to. And I said, do you not do the cancel? She was like, what? And she, I literally, and she pinches herself every time she has a negative thought. I was who was that? I can't even remember who it was. It was somebody I was with in person. I was like, no. I said,
cancel, cancel, cancel.
cancel. I said, you can't even say it clearly. Like I can't say the three in a row that sounds precise and clear. And it just makes me giggle even that because I go cancel, cancel.
Me too. Me
And it
too.
just changes everything. There's your whole tip right
That's
from
a
the start.
beautiful way to change your state, isn't it?
Well, it gives me laughter and it
Gives you
just,
laughter, but
and it works.
it works. Yes, because I was thinking that when you're describing that person saying, "Oh, I have to wait till tomorrow to start again." No, no, no. You could say cancel, cancel, cancel. Okay, restart.
I
That's
forgot
it.
about I was talking to somebody recently about it. I can't remember who it was, and we just laughed. I was like, it's that easy. They're like, what do you mean? I guess that's the other thing is it's all movable, it's not permanent, but life doesn't have to be hard. Like
Mhm.
if we're top tips from body stress relief, we're thinking everything's hard, like, oh, it's hard to get myself out of this state. I've been
Yeah.
like this for 5 years. Well, you won't have been in the exact same position. I'm just going to correct people there. You haven't been in the exact mood. You haven't been a 11 out of 10 for the whole 5 years. I'm going to challenge you on that because there's been moments that you've actually had a smile. So that's just an old story you've had.
It sounds like a
And we're,
BS to me. That sounds like some
yeah,
BS.
yeah,
Belief
totally.
system right there.
And she's got a pen out. She's got, last week I had my finger out. Now she's got a pen out going, there's it. That is it. So yeah, cancel, cancel, cancel. Watch your BS.
Watch your BS.
But it is. It's
Seriously, because
everything's movable. Yeah.
everything's movable. Watch your BS because always remember you are the boss and
Mm.
you are profoundly powerful. So this idea of embodying stress relief is that if you and I'm not going to tell you that you will not experience stress because we do.
Oh no, but yeah.
I just did. I just did before we hopped on to recording this. I had a bit of a stressful situation where plumbers that were not going to be showing up until they told me they were going to just showed up.
I know you hang around all day for people and they don't come, and then you're like, oh
And they're
yeah,
like,
we
you weren't coming.
happened to
Well,
go
we
to the
did.
toilet once, and they turn up, and then you don't answer the door, and you're like, no, that can cause stress. But everybody's stress can be different. Like it
Yeah.
can be, oh, I ran to the phone and missed it. Oh, it was a call I was waiting on. It could be that level, or it
Yep.
could be I missed my flight and it's going to cost me a lot of money, or like
Yeah.
it could be different stress. We've all got stress in our lives. I think one of the things I say to people, and I call it drama, we've all got drama, is choose your drama. If you can choose your drama, the universe doesn't choose it for you. Now, when I say that, I do things like if I'm going to choose my drama, I ensure that it's not in my health, my wealth, or my intimate relationship.
That's
hang on.
wise. That's a wise thing.
So I do things like my drama I get around me is my clients who come to me with chaos. So I have my stress and my drama and my chaos with my clients, so it doesn't embed it into my personal life.
Right.
And so I get to choose, okay, today I'm going to tackle a few things that are this, this, and this. This is pretty stressful. I don't know how I'm going to handle it or anything like that. And it just allows me to know that I'm not fearful of stress. I'm a stressologist for a start. I'm not fearful of stress. It's just a word. But I get to pick and choose, and goes back to what Moira said, you are the boss of you.
Yeah.
And I
But you
think
know
that's
something I would add to that about the choose your drama. I really like that and I agree with it. But I also feel like it's really important to watch your stories because
oh
for
yeah.
myself, I can oh yeah, she says.
I've had to put my hand over my mouth there. Oh yeah.
But you see, because what I feel like is I have come through some challenging, dramatic situations, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't tell you that they were overly stressful. I wouldn't wish them on anybody, but I was there. So I'm not going to tell myself a story of, oh, this is so hard and how on earth am I going to get through this and how am I going to... It's like, oh, here I am. I know, and that's why I'm saying this is a level of trust, is to say, I had no idea I was going to need to come through this type of situation or this type of experience, but I know I can do it. And I think that this idea of embodying stress relief, it serves me well because there are times where I need to go, oh, you know what? I just need to put my hand on my heart and focus on my breath.
Yeah.
While I, calm my nervous system down, because
Mm.
that's what I'm trying to say. When we embody stress relief, it doesn't mean that we don't get the stress response, right? Or experience drama. But that's why I'm saying is watch the story that you attach to what it is you're experiencing.
Well, when you, yeah, and to me, what you're just saying is what you've been through, you wouldn't label as stress. Now, you're right. While it was clearly stress, it was
Mhm.
beyond a 10
Yeah.
points of that. But you see, you're somebody who goes, and this is a tip on its own, is there's always a solution to every problem.
Yes.
And even just saying that, just knowing that, so even though you've gone through some catastrophic stuff,
Mhm.
I don't want to dismiss it, but where you've been going through wobbles,
Yes.
that's, but you know there's a solution to everything,
Yep.
no matter what's happening. And I think that's a valid tip on its own, is there's a solution to every problem,
Yes.
because they're not actually problems, it's just a word, but there's a way out, and you're not going to get that problem or stress, or you're not going to get that wobble if you couldn't handle it. The universe is not going to, I don't believe the universe is going to give you anything you can't handle. I'm
Yep.
a firm believer of that. And I think,
As am I. Yeah.
yeah, and I think knowing that, and it goes back to that trust, but all the things we said, knowing that, it just has a different feel to it. It's like, okay, I can get through this. It's that old saying, oh, I've been through this before, maybe not to this level, but this is what's happened,
Mhm.
and I've survived before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just knowing that stuff.
Absolutely. But back to the point, and that is such an important piece around the embodying stress relief, is to realize there's always, always, always a solution to every problem. But not
Mm.
only that, the solution already exists. If you're
Mm.
seeing a problem, it's
Actually,
so
that's actually
important to
right.
actually
Yeah.
say it exists. Just because I don't see it, or I haven't realized it, or it hasn't landed on my lap, or whatever it is, or hasn't, made itself clear, it still exists. So now
Well,
when we are embodying stress relief, then you say, well, so what can I do right now? Well, maybe all you can do right now is distract yourself, go off and do something else, go
mm,
stand outside and take a deep breath of
mm.
fresh air, go and take care of other things, knowing that when you circle back to this conflict or this turmoil, then you can kind of go, oh, there's a solution, there's my
And it
troubles.
is, once you remove yourself sometimes from the situation, you can see things a lot clearer as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I better write that tip down.
Yeah, that's a good tip. That is a good tip, is that sometimes you do need to, and perhaps that's a thing of, if you're going to remove yourself, that's the idea of coming back to the center of the storm.
Mm,
Maybe
yeah,
it's like, if there's too much wobble and too much chaos, it's like, oh, whoops, wait. I need
yeah.
to just take myself into that center point where there is calmness and ease. And
Mm.
then that's sometimes where the epiphanies can land, right?
Yes. And when we go back to the solution to every problem, there's a universal law, and that universal law is there's a complementary opposite at play every single moment of the day. So the
Mm-hmm.
moment you see a problem, there's equally a solution. The moment you see a solution, there's equally a problem. But there's that. So you can't, when
Well,
Moira
that's
and I,
because we live in polarity, right?
yeah,
That is one of the
but
laws, is the law of polarity.
absolutely. So when we say that tip, there's a universal law behind us on that one.
Yep.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know. So there's no. But I think also reminding yourself, to embody stress relief. And I'm going to go back to that. Everything's movable.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's movable, and sometimes you've just got to do whatever it is. Now I know we talk about Moira's talked about her self-care soothing
Self-soothing,
kit or
self-soothing
self-soothing.
kit.
Yeah,
Self-soothing. Yeah.
the self-soothing kit. And I talk about my glitter bomb, doing whatever lights you up. And I think having that kit handy is very valuable, because when you're looking to embody that stress relief and you're in a chaotic situation or in a wobble or whatever you want to call it, and you can't think clearly, you can just go I'm going to say pull a card, not a tarot
You
card. Well,
could pull a card.
I was just gonna say actually not a tarot card, but actually you can pull whatever you freaking want. The
Yep.
truth is, but
An oracle
if you've
card.
got Yeah. If you've got those there, the self-soothing, you've probably got those in your self-soothing kit, actually,
I
as I
do.
think that.
Yes, I do.
Is that you just you pull whatever you require right now, and it's the trust that whatever you pull is going to be perfect for you right here, right now. And it's
Yeah.
just that having that handy, because when you're in that chaotic state, you can't think clearly sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And so your self-soothing kit could be a collection of affirmations. It could be card decks. In mine it is. It could be a selection of crystals that have healing meanings, or it
Yeah.
could be pieces of music or your pet, because my
Mm.
cat's part of my self-soothing kit.
Yeah. My dogs aren't that much part of my self-soothing kit now.
But also another one, and a lot of my clients really like this too, is a blanket. I have a blanket in my kit. And actually one of my clients who's going through a healing journey at the moment, she actually has a fluffy blanket in every room in her house. That's
Oh, really?
part of her self-soothing kit, because then it's like it's right there. And that's the whole point. That's why having these
Mm.
things prepared ahead of time is so nurturing. This is such
Mm.
a key piece in embodying stress relief, is knowing yourself and knowing what your potential triggers are, and knowing maybe there's a specific place in your office or in your home where things happen for you, like getting
Yeah.
triggered or getting more stressed or things of that nature. So then therefore you want to make sure that there's easy, accessible reminders that will
Mm.
help you come back into that flow, that
Ground
sense of
yourself
ease.
is that thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's grounding, but
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Or come into heart coherence like we did at the beginning of this. Just put your hand on your heart and envisage. That's why I often like to anchor that process in with a visual, to just allow yourself to you can close your eyes and just visualize that, right?
well, that set up our podcast extremely well.
Yes.
I think the other thing is, if you're looking to embody your stress relief, gratitude is a great one. I can't believe we got this far without
Gosh,
gratitude.
me too. As soon as you said that, I went, oh my goodness, look at, we're so far into it.
No. Gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. When you write a list of things you're grateful for, it does allow your heart to become filled up.
Yeah.
Just that alone, it dissolves it, and it also adds a bit of vitality to you. I think the other thing, when you're grateful and you can feel it, you do have a sense. Your shoulders are not slunched forward more now. They're actually pulled back, and you're like, you know what? Actually, I can appreciate life, and you do have a pep in your step.
Yeah.
You do have something with it. And so gratitude is just what you're thankful for. And you could write it down. You could do a gratitude journal. You could do that. You don't have to. Like, just start thinking about 3 things you're thankful for, or 2 things. And today, this is what I'm going to do. But gratitude is incredibly important to embody our stress relief.
As 100%. And I think I might have mentioned this story about this client in a previous episode. But I have a client who she regularly does a gratitude practice to start her day and a gratitude practice at the end of the day. But what she had started to do was she noticed how easy and flowing it was for her to say thank you to people who did things for her, or, appointments or sessions, or always nice to say thank you. She found it very easy to say thank you to people. But she started to realize she wanted to thank the objects. So she started doing
Oh,
things like saying thank you to her kettle for boiling the water. Thank you for her mug for keeping her tea warm. And
I love that.
isn't that awesome? And it just,
And so
yeah,
we'll see people go, oh, that's just small stuff. You know what? All the small stuff adds into big stuff. And I just even thank you for the kettle. Thank you for, because I tell you what, if you don't have running water and your power's out and you're desperate for
Yep.
a cuppa, I tell you what, you're going to be more thankful for when that cuppa arrives.
Definitely.
It does, but I mean those things are important. And I think if you're looking to embody your stress relief, just when you're just talking about gratitude, then do things that light you up. Do things that inspire you. Like for
Mm,
me, if I'm having a cranky day, I will get into my office. Sometimes I'll talk to a client or something, and it just changes my state instantly because I'm showing up for somebody differently. My head's thinking differently, and those things is do what inspires you. You
absolutely.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
alongside your self-soothing kit. But yeah, when you're lit up, time disperses and you see more flowers over weeds.
But you're also much more resilient because you're
Mm,
not going to then you're more resilient and capable of dealing with the small wobbles or the small challenges that may come across your desk type of thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You and I think just when you're saying that is be aware of the people around you too, because you know people who, you feel like you've come away and you've had the life sucked out of you, like the leech has got good.
Yeah,
And
don't let that happen. Because you know what reminds me of that is that if that happens, you have to remind yourself that you are the boss of you and
mm,
nobody gets to pull your energy from you
yeah,
unless you say so. And so
yeah.
sometimes that means, Kate, regroup. I'm just going to envisage myself in a white bubble of light or protection or do something that's really important in this. If that is a situation where you are getting depleted uh, in a maybe a
From it.
negative or toxic environment, um, I really encourage people to work with protecting their solar plexus chakra. So you
Mm,
can wear yellow, envisage a color yellow, or you can put your hand where your solar plexus is. That's just the soft part at the bottom of your ribs, just below your chest bone, and just above your belly button. But the other one too that's very powerful for protecting that chakra in particular, because that chakra is your identity. And so when people feel drained because of a negative situation or an environment, it's they're being drained at their solar plexus chakra. Doesn't matter if you know chakras or understand them, but the idea here is to envisage or intend that you have a mirror facing out the way, hanging in front of that area. And what that is doing is saying, you're the boss of you, and nothing gets to take your energy unless you allow it. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to embody stress relief, that you're
mm,
just flowing with the energy. Because let's face it, when we get stressed, it's energetic, right? That's
mm-hmm,
you saying that feeling drained or zapped or your energy
mm,
being pulled from you. It's all energy.
yeah.
So do something energetic to say, this is my energy. I'm keeping it in my vortex, in my bubble.
And well, you know most of the time what you're walking into.
Yes.
It's the thing with us is we know most of the time.
Yes. So trust your intuition too.
I just totally and what Moira just said, I'm sure she's told me that before.
I have.
I'm sure
I
you like
have.
and I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it that it's sunk in. And for me, if I'm going into a situation and I know something happens, I'll just put my hand over my belly button
Yeah.
and I'll just go, I'm living here. Or my hand on my heart, that's my favorite. But if I just put my and literally, and I think it's down to setting your intention.
Yes.
This is going to work. And that goes back to that trust. This is going to work for me. But if you're going to go, oh, I'm going to do this and I don't think it's going to work, the universe is already going to go, all right, well, we'll prove you it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to go out to prove you wrong. They're just like, whatever. They've got better things to deal with type thing. But I love that Moira just said all that. I have to go back and listen to all those tips, how she described it again. But it is about setting our intention. What intention do you want to get out of your day? And I think, when I talked about picking your drama or your situation,
Yeah.
choosing your drama for the day, what type of day do you actually, if you're going to embody your stress relief, I know we're coming out of time, people, but if you're looking at embodying your stress relief, what do you want your day to look like?
Hmm.
How often have we actually done that? Sat down and gone, what do I want to wake up with, different thought process, or I'm going to get up and my dogs are going to be a lot smoother than they were this morning, or or cat. Like, what is it you're going to visualize your day looking like? And I think that's setting our intention for our day.
Yeah. So you could start your day with the intention of what would it take to have a blissful, happy, harmonious day? That's actually a
Mm,
beautiful way to start your day, by the way. What would it
yeah.
take? Because when we set that, what would it take to have a happy, calm, harmonious experience today? It does two things. It actually engages the universe because you're co-creating your experience.
Mm,
So your guides and your higher self and your energy is going to be kind of saying, "Oh, better pay attention. Oh, maybe that." So then you stay present to the signs and the signals. But it
mm.
also signals to your subconscious. The subconscious is the problem solving. So it's going to constantly be looking at, "Oh, maybe that." And so you're going to get the intuitive nudges of that's going to help this intention of a happy, harmonious, flowing experience, right?
Yes, we've got a lot of tips here today, people. We've got a
Mm.
lot of tips on this, and they were top tips to embody stress relief. And I don't want to cut it off because there's so much more to go. But this is how we roll. This
This
is
is
how
how
we
we
roll.
roll.
Sometimes we have to pull it back. And today, for the start of the new year, we're pulling it back to wrapping that one. But if you'd like this one to continue, then please let us know, and we'll just
Yeah, and we can
part two,
start
3, 4,
again.
5, 7. Yeah, or we can do a huge masterclass on it, like a huge
Yeah,
master.
there.
We can do whatever. So we're gonna regroup, and Moira and I are gonna go and condense our podcast into just bullet point tips. I say that, I laugh. The best we can.
As best we can.
The best we can. So grab your note-taking device because we're going to go as quick as we can, ish. And
You're
probably add a few more at the
funny-ish.
end. Yeah, ish, because I'm like, come on, Deborah. I can hear my words. I'm like, you're just going to lie because there's going to be ads added. So, the first tip we actually started on was the heart coherent exercise that Moira did.
Hmm.
And just that alone, going through the parts of that, feeling into yourself, were very valuable. And I want you to go back to the start and listen to it. And even if you listen to the last 4 episodes, each one that we've done has had a different start.
Yeah.
So get yourself into that rhythm of what that heart coherent is, because that is an excellent way to start any of our podcasts, because that's like tip number one. But
Yeah.
tip number one used to be PEMS,
It
literally
did.
used to be PEMS every time. And
Yep.
don't forget your PEMS, there's still your PEMS as well. Yeah. So that's number one. Go back to that heart coherent and re-listen and take that in.
Mm. And the next
Um,
one that we went from there was that asking that question, my favorite question.
hmm,
How does this make me feel about me? And so
yes.
that's, that technique, that idea, those words, those opportunities. How does it make me feel about me? Because when
Yeah.
we embody stress relief, it makes me feel embodied. I just love that word.
Well, you can't run from it. It just feels loved, nurtured, full on. You
Yep.
just like, even that, just embodying.
Yep.
Embodying even is just a word that feels delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? We have to note that one because Deb has challenges with words. Oftentimes
I'm,
here's one.
I'm,
This is cool. I just wanted to underline that one a wee bit.
I actually don't even know if I've said any particular word that I really like lately. I think you're right. Moira
Yeah.
picked that up, the embodying. But this one also goes, how does this make me feel about me? This also goes into the other one that Moira says, and is this good for me? Is this good for others? And do I want to do it?
Yeah.
And they all have to be a heck yes. And I think they just go side by side.
Yeah, they do.
Can you hear my
Definitely.
stress relief at the moment? My dogs, can you hear the dogs
Yes, I
going on?
can.
You
There they
can,
are.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're embodying stress relief.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, dogs. Yeah, but how does it make me feel about me? And is this good for me? I think they both go side by side, and they're both beautiful, beautiful one. My next one was when I had to cut Moira off and I had to dash away, which I'm not doing now. The dogs go crazy. Is saying no
Yeah.
or not now, and acknowledging that the timing isn't right, and being okay. Because I can't say this now because the timing's not right, or I can't say this, or I can't say this. Now is not a good time. There is no good time to say certain things. You
Yeah.
just have to say it, be present. But saying no or not right now or the timing is off is a great one to embody stress relief.
It's so important because always remembering too that no doesn't mean never. Just like you're saying, if this isn't the right time, it means there is a right time. It's just not right now, right?
Just absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one spawned into the next tip that I wrote down was to flow with what's happening, because that was it's kind of part of that whole.
I think they all just merged into one, didn't they? We just had a combo.
Kind of like,
hang on,
there's another piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that flowed into trust.
Yes.
Trust, trust that it's going to work out. Trust that it's going to work out for the best interest for you and others, and trust that you can get through this. All those things. Trust. That's trust yourself, trust others, trust the universe. Just trust. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
You're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
The next one I've got is we talked about BS, the belief systems. And that's when you said about the 4 agreements being impeccable with your word. And that actually feeds beautifully into trust also, doesn't it?
They all did.
Yeah, they all did.
Yeah. And that's the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word. That's your word to yourself and to others.
Yes.
And one of the things Moira said, which I love, is cancel. So when you say something, you go cancel, and it just cancels out what you just said in a fun kind of way. It's definitely out. You can't deny it's out, whether verbally or not, like it's out. But by saying cancel, you're just rewriting the script right there and then in a quirky kind of way.
Yeah, you're just doing a quick reset.
Yeah.
Restart. Yeah. That's when you shared that idea of like, oh, well, tomorrow's another day. Like, well, cancel. Today is today.
Today's the same day. Let's I know.
Let's do this.
I think, I don't know. I mean, I grew up with that. Tomorrow will be a different day. Like I grew up with tomorrow, and I don't know if that's an old-fashioned saying or where it is, but I remember, tomorrow's going to be a different day, or tomorrow's going to be a nicer day, or those things. And I just remember that was one of the things, but today is a perfect day.
So I was brought up a wee bit different from that, because have you ever heard that quote that says, I don't know who said this, but the idea that tomorrow never comes. Because if I say I'm going to do that tomorrow, then tomorrow comes and I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to do it tomorrow. And so, no, I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to do it today.
Yeah, that's that. Don't put off. What is it? Don't put off today what you can do. No, don't put off tomorrow what today. I don't know.
Something like that.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just Nike it out. Just do it.
Yep.
I've got a wrote here. I've wrote down here different concepts, but I don't know what the heck that means. So I'm just going to go different concepts. So that could mean.
Well, I'm wondering if that's the one where you said choose your drama. Isn't that one where you said choose your drama?
No, because it was after trust. Anyway, we'll just throw that. So if someone can tell me what that meant, then feel free to drop that in the chat. I'll give you a bonus. Yeah, you get a high five from me. Yeah. The next one I had is you are the boss.
Yes. You are the boss.
You are the boss of you. You are the one. You're the captain of your own ship. You're the pilot of your own plane. You're the one who has to get up every day to do what you choose to do.
Yep. And you're a powerful. You're a powerful creator being. You are the boss. Absolutely. Yeah. The next one I have is this. We talked about this. There is always always, always, always
Mm.
a solution to every problem. And that's when
Okay.
I said that in order for a problem to exist, the solution already exists too, because one cannot exist without the other.
Mm.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And so that embodying stress relief, that flowing is like, okay, I can't see the solution right now, but I know it's here. It will make sense, or it'll knock on the door, or it'll make sense when it's the right timing, right?
Mm. Yes. We talked about choose your drama. Choose your drama every day. Choose your drama, whatever you want to deal with. Uh, just try and put it into areas that aren't your wealth, health, and intimate relationship.
And that's
If
when
you,
I added on to that one about watch the stories. Because
mm,
and this is going back to that whole part. You can be in turmoil and trauma and turbulence and not buy into it by a story. And just say, oh, I'm passing through,
I
right?
think that, well, yes, and even when you're talking about that, stories, other people's stories, be cautious of not jumping into other people's
Mhm.
storybook because their storybooks are a completely different journey to
Yep,
your own as it
yep,
is.
yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Um,
Um,
is it my turn or yours?
your turn because I'm all over the place here. Surprise.
Because the next one I have is, and I think it was you that said this, to remove yourself from the situation,
Mm,
right? So if it is getting a bit, discombobulating or a bit too like I don't know what the next step is, then remove yourself. Go for a walk. Go take a tip out of your self-soothing kit. Change your
mm.
state, right? Remove yourself from a situation. And oftentimes when we do that, it's almost like you do that and then all of a sudden, oh, I know what to do, right?
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned the self-soothing kit then. Just having that self-soothing kit that you could pull a card out, pull a card out, here we go again, pull a card out of,
Yeah.
but it's whatever works for you. And once you get yourself into that situation of that self-soothing kit, if you start working on that now when you're not stressful, it just
Yeah.
comes so naturally.
Yeah.
It's not. And that's that beautiful thing of removing yourself from the situation because if the self-soothing kit, if you glitter bomb kit, yeah,
Yeah,
if you
there
get
you go.
my glitter bomb, if your glitter bomb kit is viable and out there and you're using it daily, it just comes naturally. So you don't even need to remove yourself from the situation because
Mhm,
the answers come a lot quicker, is what
mhm.
I was trying to say. We
Yep,
got all that.
yep. I like it.
The next one I have is I don't know how we got this far down, gratitude. How do we get
Mhm.
so far down when we're talking about
I
embodying
know.
stress relief?
I
Um,
know.
gratitude. Just think of the things you're thankful for right here, right now. What opportunities do you have? Who are you connecting with? Who are you not connecting with? And whatever it is, but being thankful for what you have right here, right now. And a beautiful one, Moira was saying, was somebody she knows is she's thankful for when she makes a cup of tea or cuppa. I just naturally thought cup of tea. Um, she makes a cuppa. She's thankful for the electricity. She's thankful for the kettle. She's thankful that it boiled. She's thankful she can reach the cup and make that. Like all those little things
Yeah.
are not actually little. You're, you're,
Absolutely.
you're reprogramming your brain to think gratitude for all situations.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it as well, is that gratitude. No,
That
so no
really, really,
small or big, it's just gratitude.
yeah. But that is such a beautiful way for embodying stress relief is I'm thankful
Mm,
for everything, right?
mm, yeah.
Yeah. The next one I have is to do things that light you up. And I actually added on creativity. Like what
Mm,
do you do? And I think this is an important piece for self-care daily is do something creative. Do something that you absolutely love doing. Even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes focused on that thing, it it
mm.
it helps you calm your nervous system to be the boss of you, to be tapped into your creative flow, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I was thinking about what inspires me.
Mhm.
Talking to a client, going outside when it's nice and warm. It is, but these sound like little things, but they're so significant. Um, The
Yeah.
next tip I have is protect your energy.
Mm.
And Moira did an explanation of how to protect your solar plexus
Mhm.
and just protect your energy. And it goes back to what works for you. And I'm going to get Moira to mention that solar plexus again because I didn't take enough notes. So it's actually about me, not you people. But if she could just, because all I do is I just put a band-aid over my off my belly button, or I put my hand there. That's the short, quick Deborah version. But Moira will tell you what this is because I really would like to emphasize this is valid. So there you go, Moira. I'm throwing that one back to you.
Oh, thank you. So your solar plexus is actually above your belly button. It's kind of a couple of inches above your belly button, but just below your chest plate. It's the soft area in between your ribs, bottom of your ribs. And that's the solar plexus that's the chakra that is how we show up in the world, but it's also where we absorb other people's projections or stuff or chaos, crazy making. And that's so when we're feeling zapped or that our energy's being drained, it's coming from that area, that energy vortex. All the chakras are energy vortexes. So my suggestion, you can put your hand there, just place your hand there, because remember, you're the boss of you. Nobody gets to pull your energy unless you say so. But the most powerful one that I know is to envisage, pretend, intend that you have a mirror facing out the way, hanging in front of that space on your body. And that's something that I will do if I know I'm going into a place where I don't know what the energies are like. Like maybe I'm going to a really chaotic, busy shopping mall or something. I'll put my protection plate there. I can lift it and take it down, but it's a really beautiful, quick way to protect your own energy bubble.
Yeah.
It's there. And
it works.
odd, and it works. I've actually taught that to people who had no clue what energy was or what chakras were, and they would come back and say to me, "What kind of weird voodoo was that?" Because they would actually
Because it
see
works. Because it works.
how profoundly. It's not just that it works and okay, well, let's move on. It's profound. It's really cool. It's cool. I like it. So does everybody I've taught it to.
Yeah, and they're like, it works. You wouldn't believe it works. Really? Really?
Yep. Go figure.
All this work, by the way, and which actually sums up our next tip was setting our intention.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to cover your solar plexus, set your intention of what the purpose of it for. Set your intention. And Moira said this beautiful saying, what will it take to have a fulfilling, harmonious day? Like what intention are you setting for your day instead of, oh, I've got to have to get up, I've got to go to work, earn minimum wage. Like if you're thinking like that, the universe is already, you're on that Debbie Downer already.
Well, it's already creating all that and more. That
Absolutely.
tone of that tone.
Yeah. So when you're protecting your solar plexus, when you're doing that, set your intention that it works.
Yeah.
Set your intention that every tip that we're giving you works. We know it actually works anyway. So
yeah.
We know it works because we wouldn't give you this if it didn't work. We're trialing something, we'd tell you. But we've already trialed it a gazillion times over before we got it out here.
Absolutely. Because we both walk our talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which do you have any more tips? Because there's clearly one very important one I'm going to say at the end, and that's going to be talking about you and I. But is there any other tips top tips to embody stress relief?
The one last one that I'd like to put in here is to trust your intuition.
Oh,
right.
How do we miss that? Like,
because so that's the thing, and that helps you tap into the solutions. It helps you tap into your own inner power and your own inner wisdom. So trusting your intuition is really because intuitively you know that you've got this, you can do this. That's actually a really nice tip about embodying stress relief is if something's starting to give you a wee bit of a wobble, maybe it's time to just put your hand on your heart and say, I've got this. And that actually allows you to engage with your own intuitive nature, right? Yeah.
I love all of these tips, but clearly we're going to end on one that is the most vital tip to embody stress relief.
Yes.
Not the first one about the heart coherent. The last tip I'm going to give you is you are not alone in this process. Moira and I are here for you to help you in any way that you require. We've been doing this for over 80 years, all between us.
Between us.
Between us, because clearly we're both not over 80,
We're
but
not
between
over
us,
80.
we're not over 80. I've got a very young voice for radio. We're not, but we are skilled at what we do. We know what we can do. We know that we can help you in anything that's going on. There is always a solution to every problem. We can see the solution as you're even talking about the problem. We've already jumped in and we can see what's required, what's the end result. Let's work our way back. We're already thinking like that. So if you really want to embody your stress relief, reach out to us. Just do a quick 15-20 minute call if that's all that's required to get you back on track. But we are here because we care for you and we don't want you to be in that state of chaos any longer than you've already been. So that's really the tip I'm going to end on. But if you like today, the next step is to let us know in our Facebook group what tip you liked, what tip you actually liked, because when I go to wrap this up, there's some blooming goodies in here. And I know I had to giggle because I think last time I said, oh, we haven't got many tips but this one has a lot. This one has a lot. So even though we summed them up at the end, I'm sure there's bits that we missed in just our stories that we said. So go listen to the whole lot and pull out what it is, pull out what that is, whether it's the trust, whether it's the knowing things are movable, whether it's the being impeccable with your words, knowing there's a solution to every problem, like gratitude. There's so many tips in here for you that will 100% embody your stress relief. So in signing off, I want to thank you for listening to us today. Thank you for taking notes, taking a little bit of this in. Let us know what your favorite one is. Thank you to the internet. Thank you to the timer. Thank you to Moira for showing up. And
thank
you for showing up. And thank you to
you too. Yes.
And thank you, listeners, because you do play a vital role in our life. You do play a vital role, and we are going to set our intention for 2025. So let us know if there's anything in particular you would like for 2025 that you'd like us to work on, talk about, give you tips on, because we are here for you. So let's set this year off with an inspiring intention about what will it take to have a fulfilling and harmonious day. It's up to you because you are the boss of you.
I love that.
Thanks, Moira. Thanks, listeners.
Thank you, listeners. We'll see you next time. Bye.